Hello, everybody. Marcus here from Aroma Thyme Bistro in Ellenville. So, one of the hardest parts, one of the most frustrating parts of owning a restaurant, doing this job, is the online reviews. Everybody thinks they're a food critic, or a lot of people think they're a food critic, and not even like professionally paid food critics are that knowledgeable to begin with. Um, you know, a lot of these highly regarded chefs that are out there feel that they're unjust by some of these inspectors, even Michelin star inspectors. If you read Marco Pierre White's book, I mean, he handed his stars back because he said he knew more than the inspectors and the people that are rating his restaurant that are working for the Michelin Guide. And I've spent a lot of time cooking. I've devoted since late 80s to cooking, and I've worked at some really amazing places like the Greenbrier, the Broadmoor. I've worked for La Claire, Michelin 3-star. I've worked at some for Anton Mazeman. So I've worked for some really amazing places. I've also worked some places that I would not brag about at all, that I don't want to brag about. So I've worked at two totally opposite spectrums of the food quality here. But I've learned overall that not what I've learned, but my restaurant is a direct reflection of my personal beliefs in food, which is why I don't work for anybody, which is why I can't work for anybody, because a lot of my last job at a country club, which we had sort of an unlimited budget, they didn't agree with the food that I wanted to purchase, the high quality food that I wanted to purchase. And working at a lot of really high-end places that charge a lot of money. I'm used to using good ingredients, but there's a lot of places that are charging a lot of money that are using terrible ingredients, bad ingredients. So here's a review that we just got, and review on Yelp here. And so this is what the review says. Not sure what all the fuss is about. I heard rave reviews about this restaurant, but I did not get that at all. Service was fine. The waiters seemed knowledgeable and professional. The cozy atmosphere was nice on a cold winter night. The prices are way too high, and the food was just okay. So now here's what I've learned in this over the years of my restaurant and other restaurants. When people are eating at a restaurant that the prices are too high, all of a sudden the problems become more. And I feel that way too when I go sometimes. If I'm getting ripped off, I'm like, well, yeah, if you're serving me this, and this, yeah, I'm going to have more problems because you're charging more. But typically reviews where people are not comfortable spending that money, then they don't really see what you're doing. But here's the hardest part of this whole equation. The hardest part of this whole equation is it's hard for me to convey every single thing we do. And I have a page on our website, Is Our Food Too Expensive? I have a series of videos, and I go through each ingredient of what we're using. I mean, every single ingredient that we're using is so much better. My restaurant friends that own restaurants, my friends in the industry, are like, Marcus, I don't know how you stay in business buying the ingredients you buy. You're spending way too much on stuff. But again, this restaurant is my personal mission. It's my life. It's my personal beliefs. I don't want to eat food in my restaurant and feel that I have to avoid something, right? That's the last thing that I want to do, is knowing that this food is bad for me, bad for the environment. It has toxic chemicals in it, things like that. This is why we focus on an insane amount of local, because I want to know where it's coming from. And the food that we do buy that's not from local, it's organic, it's from a higher quality. I mean, we scrutinize every single thing that comes into the restaurant. So you have no corn syrup in the soda. You have no nitrates in the bacon or the soprasadas. You have no funky chemicals, ingredients. You have no fillers. All this food costs a lot more money. Like, for example, I can go to the grocery store right now and buy rice crackers for our hummus from Kami, the big brand out there. They look clean. They have a couple preservatives in them. But I can buy that. It's half the price of the Edward and Sons organic ones that only contain organic brown rice and water, right? 2 ingredients, nothing else. I could save half the price if I went to the grocery store and bought these. And that's like with a lot of our items. I could go buy the cheaper counterparts at full retail at a much better price and walk into a ShopRite and buy these ingredients. But again, that's not what we're doing. So I want to feel comfortable eating the rice crackers. I don't want to know that I'm eating preservatives. I want my grandson now to be able to grab a rice cracker, know that this is pure, and he can sit there and eat a pure piece of food. And that goes with all of our food across the board. So a lot of people don't understand that they're not in my kitchen, they're not in my storeroom, they don't watch me purchase every week. This week alone, we paid twice the price for broccoli because it's local. Purple cauliflower is expensive. This is all local stuff still. Bok choy, baby bok choy. I could have bought bok choy that came from Arizona, California, that was probably imported from Mexico, that was sprayed with chemicals for half the price that I paid from local bok choy this week from a local farm. And this is every ingredient after every ingredient. But when people focus on one thing being too high, two things being too high, all of a sudden now everything's bad. So here's what the rest of the review says. The prices are way too high. This is Ellenville, after all, not Brooklyn. Well, just because I'm in Ellenville doesn't mean that I should have cheaper food. It's all relative to my costs going in, right? And our food cost is much higher than other restaurants. You're actually getting the best value when you come here for the quality of food, for the food exchange quality. There probably is no other restaurant that can do exactly what we do. I mean, maybe 0.5% of them out there. But I gotta tell you, a lot of restaurants don't want to do what we do. We purposely spend more money. I look at prices and I easily can get away every week with buying cheaper ingredients. They had wings in here. The oil that we use for our wings is outrageously priced. It's like $130 for a container of oil. Other restaurants are paying $45, $55, twice the price just to cook our wings. Our wings are natural wings. They're not pumped with and growth stimulants, or not pumped with antibiotics. So yes, sometimes our wings all are on the smaller side. This is one part of their review here. So we go back and forth to New York City. I'm well aware of both price points. My meal was actually an appetizer. My meal, which was actually an appetizer, was almost inedible. Bratwurst with potatoes and cheese. Instead of presenting a nice sausage and potatoes, it was cut up and thrown together in a crock of burnt cheese. So that dish is actually a gratin dish. So gratin means brown. So we take local charcuterie bratwurst. We take local onions and local purple potatoes, and we take a high quality cheese, take a little Reggiano, a little imported Reggiano, and some local cheddar cheese, and we brown off the bratwurst, and then we slice it, and we cook the potatoes. We slice them, we brown them, and we saute onions with some local beer, and we make what's called a skillet, and the menu says skillet gratin. So we take this, we bind it with a little bit of mustard, and we put it in the oven, and then pop it out, top it with cheese, and put it in our salamander, our broiler, to get the gratin on it, the brown on it. So that's how it's listed on our menu, as a skillet gratin. So maybe they weren't expecting that, and maybe they got thrown off, but things all of a sudden start compiling, right? Oh, this and this and this, because the price again was too high. So it wasn't what they envisioned, but it said skillet on the menu, and it says gratin on the menu. It says that all on the menu. Instead of presenting, I said, okay, not appetizing at all. The chicken wings were tasty, but probably the smallest chicken wings I've seen. We're not known to have plumped chicken wings. In fact, a lot of those chicken wings that you buy, a lot of the chicken products you buy in the store, are actually plumped with a water salt solution, chemical solution, to grab more weight and make them appear bigger, which they're not. So we use a very high reputable brand. In fact, look at all the rest of our chicken on menu. It's certified organic, air chilled chicken. It's not plumped chicken. It's not soaked chicken. It's certified organic. What we pay for chicken breasts, I can walk in the shop right again and buy their organic chicken breasts for way less money than we're paying for our chicken breasts. I mean, we're paying for a chicken breast almost $9 a pound for chicken breast. Other restaurant owners are telling me, Marcus, you're insane. You're crazy. Like, why are you spending that? You don't need to spend more than $3 a pound for chicken breast. Because again, I want to eat in my restaurant and feel that I can eat all my food, not have to worry about chemicals, additives, things being pumped in, growth stimulants, antibiotics, factor. I don't want to worry about that in my own restaurant, right? So again, this restaurant is an extension of who Jamie and I are and our personal beliefs. So let's see. There is one gripe here that said they were just the smallest wings I've ever seen, and no drums. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know what happened, but one of the batches of wings we got had very little drums in it. I don't understand why. And I actually brought it up to the distributor. I'm like, well, what's going on here? Like it was very disproportionate of wings to drums. And it just happened. I don't know how that happened. It wasn't our fault, like trying to purposely take them out or do something different with them. I don't know what happened with that. I was taken aback too. So that is a legitimate complaint. Also priced high for what you get. So you basically get almost an organic chicken wing cooked in local expeller press, cold press, not even expeller press, cold press sunflower oil from the local community here that is pressed when we call them. It's unfined, unfiltered, and it is extremely, extremely expensive. It is the best oil to actually cook in because it won't break down and turn rancid like all the other oils do. When you have rancid oils, it doesn't come rancid. When you buy all those other oils, those commodity oils, and people put them in the fryers, the oil comes rancid already. The way they have to process, they have to burn the oil, then bleach it, then deodorize it, and it's a cheap commodity product. No matter if it's an organic one or whatever, it goes through this processing where the oil's rancid when it shows up. The oil that we buy is fresh oil. It's pressed that week or the week before. They press to order, and it is amazing, high quality, high heat resistant. Everything's in the oil. It's unfined, unfiltered, unbleached, unburnt oil when it comes to us. And it comes with a price tag. But again, I want to be able to eat the food here. I can't stand going to restaurants and eating something that's fried because I know that the oil, the fryer is toxic. The oil that goes into that is toxic. It's terrible. And it's not good for your health. So let's see here. Also priced high for what we got, the wings. Others enjoyed the chicken tikka masala. And again, the tikka masala is made with organic, air-chilled, not soaked, air-chilled, certified organic, local LaBelle Farm chicken thighs. But the accompaniments were bland. Maybe we could have added some more salt to the rice and the veg, but our rice is Lundberg rice grown in California, the lowest, virtually no arsenic in it, with all those arsenic problems with rice out there because it's cheap rice. It's grown in places that are not clean. It says California Lundberg Family Farms certified organic rice, which again is 3 times the price of other rice, if not even more than that. So it's super high quality rice. So the vegetables all local again. We've been serving all local vegetables: purple cauliflower, the bok choy, the kale. We were even putting fennel in until last 2 weeks ago. We're getting local fennel. All this is going in the local veg. It's a really nice veg, and we saute it with garlic, and it's really nice. But could it have had more seasoning? Maybe. We season it with salt and garlic, and we saute it. Let's see. But what really got under my skin was a $5 charge for child's juice that wasn't even in a proper kid's cup. I'm not sure what we served it in. I'm not sure if they wanted it in a paper cup or whatever they wanted it in. $5 kids charge for apple juice. All right. So our apple juice is certified organic, not from concentrate, and not from China. All right. I don't know any restaurant that is buying jarred apple juice and paying the price that we're paying. Same thing for our cranberry juice. There is no dye in our cranberry juice. There's no corn syrup on our cranberry juice. It's the real deal. All of our food is the real deal. Like when you go on, like when you our soda gun, no sodium benzate, no corn syrup. Our diet is sweetened with stevia. Folks, this all stuff comes with a price tag, which is why people love what we do. And people who understand the food that we do, that have had time to understand it, now are like, I don't know how you don't charge more for your food. Thank you for being affordable, because of what we do is truly amazing when it comes to the quality. I don't know any other restaurant that is going to open organic, not from concentrate, American apple juice in a jar for your kids. It's going to be Mott's. It's going to be something inexpensive and cheap, because folks, we buy from the regular food distributors, but we don't buy much from the regular food distributors. We buy from health food distributors. We buy from 2 different health food distributors that are selling to places like Whole Foods and all these health food stores that are serving you real ingredients. All this again comes with a price tag. But again, I want to be able to consume all the products. I don't want to pick and choose off my menu what I can personally eat and feel good to eat. And when my parents were alive, they would come here and eat all the time. I wanted to make sure they were eating good food as well. And I don't want to have to pick and choose and say, don't eat that because it's just once you, my mission as a chef started back, and as a conscious chef started back in the late 90s, understanding what farms were doing, what farms weren't doing, meeting with farmers, understanding what was wrong with our supply chain. I've worked in a lot of big places and I've seen a lot of the stuff. And once you start, I was in Colorado, I saw the beef production that was just horrific out there. You smell these feedlots for 20, 30 miles away. You smell Montfort beef. And then I discovered the smaller producers, the smaller processing plants that didn't do what the big ones did. And I knew there was right and wrong in food back from the late 90s. And I became very, very involved. In 2014, One Green Planet named me top 5 food activists that are making a difference in the country, next to Michael Pollan and the Food Babe. I was mentioned and got this award next to some of the biggest food icons in the country that are doing the right thing. So this is the real deal. I'm not skimping out. So I'm just got to understand that's unreal. Really spikes the bill when you add it all up, folks. We go out to eat a lot because we like to go out to eat, and I like to see what other places are doing. I like to get ideas. Everything's up. Every single food item is through the roof. Here's one thing that we don't use at all. We don't use seed oils in our restaurant for salad dressing. So a lot of places will do a mixture of cheap olive oil or olive oil and canola oil or other cheap oils. We're paying for a little box of olive oil, of extra virgin olive oil, $160 for a little small box to make salad dressing. And again, my friends are telling me, Marcus, you're crazy. Why don't you use the blended oil? Why don't you use the less, because that's not what I want. That's not what I want to eat. Again, I don't want to pick and choose. Every restaurant has seed oil. Seed oil is a detriment to our health. It is a detriment to the American society for our health. You're not getting seed oil in your food besides sunflower seed oil for the chicken wings, super high quality oil. I'm not giving you cheap seed oils and everything. I go to restaurants where they give you olive oil, and I go to some very nice restaurants where they give you olive oil for your bread. And I always ask, is this really 100%? And they go, yes. I said, could you please ask the kitchen, because if I get certain oils, I start itching. I need to know if there's other oils in here. And I just say that. And they always come back and say, it's a blend. It's a blend of canola and pure olive oil. I'm like, pure olive oil? It's not even extra virgin olive oil. It's just some cheap, because it's a lot cheaper. And with food prices going up and up and up, restaurants are skimping out more and more and more. We're happy to spend the money because we're proud of what we do and what we serve. So when I read reviews like this, it's like, man, where do we go wrong communicating to what we're doing? And there's too much for us to communicate. And if you come in and you watch my YouTube channel and you've seen our posts on social media, you know that, hey, it's December and I'm still posting that we're using lots and lots of local food and we're paying a premium for that, but it's pure local ingredients. Let's see. And the fact that 2 of our drink selections were not available, I'm not sure what drink selections were not available. I don't know, but we have a lot. Our bar has $75,000 worth of inventory. $75,000 worth of inventory in our bar. There's 800 selections. We do happen to run out of things on a regular basis. We try to reprint menus. We try, but we buy from 30 different wine vendors, and all of them have minimums, big steep minimums, $500. And if I need one wine, I'm not going to buy $500 worth of one wine from a vendor that, it doesn't make sense. I'm already at $75,000 in inventory, which is far more than most restaurants would even dream of having. Of course, when you have a wine list that has 250 selections, and if you're a restaurant that's doing that, you're gonna get up there to 20, 30, 40,000 inventory. But we have $75,000 in wholesale inventory, what it cost me, and it's all paid for. So the hummus, which comes with bread, not free, almost non-existent. So bread is on our menu. Bread was one of the ways that we had to, when the pandemic hit and the price of everything went up, bread was something that we were used to give away for free to every table. Since 2020, 2021, we now charge a couple dollars for bread, because we'd serve bread would get thrown away, and bread is a big expensive bill. And our bread is local, organic bread, high quality bread, not cheap bread, no brominated flours. You're going to restaurants and you're getting brominated flours and all these products. We don't have bromide in any of our flour products. We just paid $20 for a little 5-pounder of spelt flour the other day that was freshly ground for us from Wild Hive Farms that we use, and we buy it when we need it in small increments. And it's ancient grain spelt flour that we use when we have to use a flour of some sort. And again, everything in our kitchen is going to be elevated prices like this because this is a personal passion and I want to feel good about what I'm eating. And a consumer like this wouldn't know because I wouldn't expect them to know, right? I wouldn't expect everybody to know every single thing we do. It would be nice if this person called me and I could have had a conversation with them and at least apologize and try to make things better, or if they would have said something while they were in, because then I could have invited them and said, and I could have had a conversation with them, right? So they actually ordered bread for the hummus. The hummus comes with rice crackers. Doesn't say bread on our menu. It's never said bread on our menu. It's never been served with bread. It comes with Edward & Sons brown rice crackers is what the hummus comes with. They wanted bread, so they ordered bread, so they got bread, and they got charged $3 or $4 for bread, whatever it was on our menu. It might be $4. And it comes with certified organic bread. It comes with local white beans, local organic white beans, not even local, but local organic white beans, extra virgin olive oil, organic rosemary, organic thyme, and our good real salt from the Utah Flats is what the white bean dip is with the bread. So yes, they ordered it. It got put on their bill. That's what happened. Overall, portions are on the small side with high price tag. Again, if you think it's too much, I know when I think food is too much at a place, I'm going to have a lot of problems. My points for being open on a Monday. My father-in-law was impressed with the wine list, having 2 Sicilian wines. We actually have like 20 Sicilian wines. We actually have 2 Sicilian wines by the glass, a Catarato and an Aroma Mascalese, which are amazing wines in Aroma Mascalese from Gracchi. Not many places begin to even pour that because of the price tag on it. I left hungry and annoyed at the huge bill. Maybe I'll give this place another shot in the future, but for now, I'll stick to the places that I know are more affordable or that have better executed and more innovative dishes. I mean, so we have chicken wings, which were run of the mill, but we do smoke them. But we have a lot of very creative, innovative dishes. Our calamari is grilled. It's always American calamari, always American caught and processed, not just American caught and shipped to China to package and sent back for 30 cents a pound, like most producers do. Or they use Indian caught and processed or Chinese caught and processed calamari. When all of our salmon is always 100% wild, and it's even netted, it's line caught wild salmon, so it's another higher price tag but better quality. Our steaks, our beef is always grass fed, nothing grain in there, 100% grass fed from Joyce Farms. Joyce Farms is an amazing producer, and we also use Silver Fern, which is an amazing producer as well. Some very high quality stuff, so we use that. Our chicken, like I mentioned, is local, labelle, organic. I mean, everything across the board. Even our pasta. We don't even buy run-of-the-mill pasta. Our pasta is Spofellini, New York made, certified organic from New York grains. Yeah, it's twice the price of buying the Checo. So we buy imported pasta from Italy, some really nice stuff as well from Sorrento Toscano. We buy some really nice, cool stuff. So everything across the board. Our salt, I have to buy directly from the producer, and it's expensive salt. I can literally save. I could probably do salt for a third of the cost, sea salt, but it's processed sea salt. This salt comes from the mine, comes out of the mine. Nothing's added, nothing's taken away. It's ground to the proper consistency. It's from the Utah Flats. It's Redmond real salt. It's the best salt in the country, and that's what we're using. And I feel very good about using that salt. Our sugar, always certified organic. We use a lot of evaporated coconut sap, which is an expensive form of sweetener. We use organic local maple syrup, expensive, and all of our desserts. So everything, it's not like we cherry pick and like one dish has better ingredients. Every dish across the board has all these elevated ingredients. And again, when ingredients come in, like I'll order something from a distributor. I'm like, well, what's in this? This, then, and it comes in. I look at the label and I send it back. We reject a lot of food because I'm not going to have a box of something here that has preservatives in it, that has corn syrup. I'm not going to, and that's not even going to be in the kitchen or in the building. We simply refuse things and send them back. All of our turkeys for Thanksgiving were the real deal turkeys. So we're strict across everything across the board. So our prices are not high. Our prices are actually amazing for the quality you're getting. So I don't mind if you want to go to a restaurant and serve your kids cheap apple juice and other toxic foods and corn syrup and stuff like that and colorings in their food. There's no color. There's not even any coloring behind our bar. Like all those cool spirits we have, I send spirits back that show up that have yellow dye, red dye, all that kind of stuff. I send them back because that's not what we're about. I want to serve, again, everything. I don't want to have to cherry pick things that I know. Once you start educating yourself on food and realize that this food is killing us, totally killing us, you start avoiding foods. And I don't want to feel in my own restaurant that I have to do that, right? My restaurant is my life. It's my passion. And that's where, and that's what I feel proud about doing. If I didn't feel proud about doing what I was doing, I could go make a lot more money at a country club as an executive chef, which worked at 2 country clubs as executive chefs before we opened here, and I made a lot of money, and it was a cushiony job, and I served crap food, and I brought my food to work. I would have to bring food to work that I wanted to eat because I knew the food that I was serving was not good for me, not good for you. And I didn't feel good about it. I didn't feel good about that. It's like you go to a doctor that gives your kids stuff that he would never give his kids or her kids stuff, right? Because they know that it's not a good medicine or it's not the proven therapy, but they have to do it because they're just in that situation. It's a money maker, and that's what they do. It's one of those kinds of scenarios, right? So you go to a car dealership and the car salesman doesn't even drive the cars he sells because he knows there's better brands out there and he's buying something different. But that's so we walk the walk, talk the talk here. And it just hurts when people leave reviews like that, because it's just like, ouch. We could have, ouch. At least call me. Really leaving a bad review doesn't benefit anybody, especially with the inflation and what we pay for food now. It's just, it doesn't I mean, if you come to me and have a bad experience, I'm going to do something. I'm going to buy you something. I'm going to do something. I'm going to make you feel better, right? I'm going to make you feel better. But once you do this online, it's just like, wow. And I just wish people would give restaurant owners independence. Oh, this is across the board, not just me, but when you have a bad experience at a restaurant, speak to the owner, speak to the manager. If they do nothing then and they don't care, then leave the review. Then leave the review for them, right? As opposed to going and leaving the review without them having an opportunity to explain themselves, listen to you. Because a lot of people just want to be heard and listened to, right? So this person might not know that they get a free steak on their birthday. And we give away a couple hundred free steaks every single month for your birthday. Free steak dinner, no questions asked. I don't know any other restaurant that does that. I know no other restaurant that does that. And this is all equated into the cost of things. So on your birthday, you can come in and get a free steak dinner. No questions asked. Whether you come in by yourself, whether you come in with a group of 2 people, 8 people, whatever, your dinner is comped for you. And it's a high quality steak. It's still a grass-fed New York strip steak, still with our local potatoes and roasted garlic and all the same stuff. You don't get anything different than you were if you weren't paying for it. So that's the story with that. So reviews, folks, call the owner first, call the manager first, get understand what's going on. And if you're not happy then and they don't do anything, then go online and resort to leaving a bad review. All right. I could go on and on and on with literally the I can go on and on with the high quality ingredients that we use, high quality wine that we use. Just across the board on everything, and go on and on and on, ingredient by ingredient by ingredient of everything that we use that is just much better, higher quality, and I feel proud to serve. All right. Have a great day, everybody.